And there it is.
Happy
Hi, everybody.
Thursday.
Can you believe it's Thursday?
No, and I cannot believe, Naz, episode 60. The big 60. We've been at this for over 60 days. And so welcome to the party. Welcome to Live from Rabs. Live from inside Rabs Country Lanes.
The Insane Asylum.
Insane Asylum is for sure. Kenny is so excited. The show is starting. We're excited to have you here with us today. We're excited to be here, as excited as we can be, because I mean, we wouldn't be here if we weren't shut down.
Right. Well,
so as much as I'm excited,
we would rather have to fit this into our busy schedules.
Yes, and I don't know.
Right now, I mean, we're busy. I mean, now we're busy, but yeah, there's no problem fitting it in.
Yeah, you know the problem, Naz, though. The problem, Naz, though.
Naz.
I don't know what I'm saying there. Though, Naz, the problem. Because we're a ratings bonanza, we're going to be wanted after this. So we really are going to. We are going to continue this in some fashion. We just don't know what that looks like.
Right.
And you guys, you'll get your daily dose of Nazareth and Frank when you come and visit.
When you come and see us.
So that we're excited about. And we can't wait to have you back inside, which will then be just the bowling center and not the studio where we allow very few people. But we're getting to that point where, we have people more people have been coming in the building.
Yeah, it's a scary time.
But
it's good.
It's good because it's a little normalcy.
And you know what? And it helps me desensitize a little bit.
Yeah, and so
so it's not like 5 people in the building, and then the next day it's 500.
It's slow,
right? It's like a slow drip. So I can ease back into more people.
And we have mood lighting. Notice we have mood lighting behind us there?
Yeah,
I didn't turn the overheads off when we were rebooting the computer. So we got a little mood lighting in the background.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad.
No. I don't know what red for moods is not that good though. So we have there you go.
Turn it off.
No, it's fine. It's cool. We get a little reflection. Unless you wanted to go for a walk, you could turn them off.
We're good.
So it's Thursday, which means we're going to talk food. We talk food every day.
All the time.
But today, of course, is our weekly check-in with the one and only Staten Island food guru, the advanced food editor,
Stateneats,
Pamela Silvestri. And John Wilder's I have not been drinking yet. I probably should.
He seems a little tipsy or something today.
Yeah, no. I was flustered.
Right.
Because I had plenty of time. I was up early. I was here early. I was doing a bunch of things. And then all of a sudden it's showtime.
Then the wrench.
And then Fran stops in and we're talking and she gave me a couple of good ideas for our show. Good. But and all of a sudden I look at time. I'm like, I'm getting ready, I'm like, and Nazareth's texting me going, hello, it's showtime. We didn't get out hair and makeup. No hair and makeup today.
No hair and makeup today. We're running on fumes today.
On fumes. I mean, it's all right. Fumes were okay. I did not sleep well, so
me neither.
Another one of those. I've had those 4:30 a.m. Hi, good morning. Your body's awake now.
The good thing about that is there is a tremendous amount of stuff that can be done between 4:30 and 8 o'clock.
I go back to closing my eyes because I'm not getting out.
A lot of times I can't do that.
Yeah, I close my eyes and I just rest. You can't. And the worst thing you could do, and we were talking about this with Jimmy Otto. You want to relax. The first thing you get up, it's so easy to turn to the phone and start looking at emails and texting. You really, it's not a good habit, and we're all guilty of it. Yeah. And I have to say, in the last 5 years, I really have gotten away from that. Hey, unless the phone rings and I look at it and something important, other than that, it's like leave me alone for the morning. Yeah. Let's get the day rolling, and then because you could just set yourself up for failure.
Give yourself a little time to ease into the day.
Yeah, I probably should do some yoga.
Even what Jimmy Otto said, give yourself a couple minutes at some point during the day to just be still and kind of clear your mind.
So maybe, Naz, post-quarantine yoga sessions in the office. We'll close the door at a specific time.
It doesn't have to be yoga even. It could be meditation or a combination of both.
Lock the door. Nobody can come in the office and bother
I like that idea.
We might have to instill that. it'll be better than having to put up the sign that says, "Excuse me, you have now interrupted my statement."
Right. Pardon me for interrupting the middle of my conversation.
Yeah.
Whatever that sign said.
And Ronnie in Dallas is looking for his Jello shot. So they're on their way. They might be a little melted by the time they get.
Really? Oh, those were delicious. I have still sitting in my fridge. I just treat myself. I have like one a day.
Yeah, you took it nice.
I'm slowly turning it into an alcohol.
Stephanie and Kevin, good luck with that. We know that that's not logical that we'll be able to lock the office for a few minutes a day, but we're gonna try. I think we're gonna try it.
We're gonna try it. Yeah.
Dawn Borst, welcome to the party.
I know, but for something not like yelling at somebody.
And Anne is always excited to talk about food.
She
not
is.
only with Pam, but if we're talking about pizza, Anne is extra happy.
Pizza and bingo.
Yeah, and today we're international. Our friend Debbie Matthew is watching from Scotland. Hello, Debbie.
Debbie.
And we had so today it's funny. Marco was putting up a new pizza sign outside, so the world can see that we're open with pizza.
Awesome.
And all of a sudden, I'm standing there, and the mailman is in the office, and I'm looking at him, going, "Hi, how did you get in here?" Yeah. And it's not our regular mailman, so I looked at him. I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Oh, you're open?" Well, not really open, but
right.
Yeah.
You walked in the door, so the door is open.
So I explained to him that I know Pete told him that bring the mail to this door, and if you have a package, just call.
Right.
My number's on the door. And he's like, "Oh, I have 2 packages for you."
Yeah,
but I don't have them.
Back at the post office.
Yeah,
one of them is mine.
He had them. He had the slips. I'm going.
Great.
Well, we'll go to the slips if I don't have. If you don't have the packages for me.
All right. Anyway. So
anyway,
what else is going on today?
You know, it's Thursday. And Naz, you have invited a special guest today.
One of the most special guests.
So yesterday you announced that we're starting a new segment here, and it may not be a daily thing, but it's
right.
We're going to recognize some of our very own everyday heroes.
Yeah.
So who did you invite today, and who is the hero?
Who's coming today?
Who is the hero of the day?
The hero of the day today is my daughter Nazareth. She is a nurse. And she currently has moved away from me. She lives in New Jersey, but she'll tell you a little bit about what she does. And she doesn't have the typical nursing job, but she is getting it done. And to me, she's a hero, not only for me, but for the people that she takes care of.
She's there, and I'm going to bring her in. Okay. Well, she's watching something, so I didn't want to bring her in, and then she's not ready for us. And then she's yelling at Nikki or something.
No, it's the perks of working from home, because like while I'm working, I have somebody in the front taking trees down. So, there's that. Hi.
Hey, Naz, do me a favor. Leave and come back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Leave and come back.
It's delayed again. I wonder why that is the last couple of days.
Yeah.
We'll get her to come back in. Shoot her a text if she's looking at her phone.
She's pulling a Del Warren. Yeah. She's gonna walk around.
It's not the there's something that's happening.
Yeah. It's happened with
a little delay, and then once they leave and come back, it's okay.
Fine. Yeah.
So she should have heard us say leave and come back. And she didn't do that, so I knocked her off the screen.
She doesn't listen to you either, so
that's okay. She's not supposed to. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. There she goes. Gone. All right, when she'll be right back, and we'll talk with Nazareth. So this is the other challenge. We didn't get a quick moment to test before we pushed live because we like to test it out. And the last couple of days we've been pushing it.
Yeah, because we're super busy now. I mean, we went from, and not that it was leisurely at any point, but we went from, we got time, to now, like the day is packed in. The day is packed in. And I don't, honestly, time, I feel, is starting to go back to.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, let's try this again. Welcome back.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Right. There you go. We absolutely can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I couldn't really hear you guys before, but now since I left and came back, like you asked me to, I can hear you.
You're the best. Well, happy Thursday and welcome. So Nazareth, Nazareth's our hero of the day.
Yeah.
And so first of all, we miss seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while, and I certainly miss seeing the kids. So what's going on over there?
Work, 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 work.
So tell us about a little bit about what your nursing jobs entail.
So my primary employment, I work for AmeriGroup Insurance, which is a New Jersey managed care organization for Medicaid. And my specific role is serving about 350 members who are developmentally and intellectually disabled. So they are kind of like mandated for case management, and we're there as a support for them to kind of navigate their healthcare needs, help them with appointments and providers and, you know, community resources, and just to be sometimes an ear for a caregiver that's frustrated, a family member that's having a tough time, or again, to kind of help them with some of those things that we, you know, do.
Certainly a very big change of pace from where you were before doing this.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time to get adjusted to the anxiety of right now in the clinical setting to a more corporate setting where you're sitting at a desk, and it's a little surreal at first, but it actually gave me the opportunity to work from home now permanently until further notice. But even before the pandemic, I was home. I was able to spend more time with my kids. It's just can't compare.
So how would you say things, your job description or your job duties have changed from before this pandemic to now? Do you see a difference in?
The core of what we do is still there. We're still there as an emotional support for a lot of people. Again, like I said, for their caregivers, for their parents, you know. So the core of that, like just being a support person, is there and wanting to help. But again, it's really more of you know, just really trying to connect them to services that they just need help with. So.
Okay. And so then what about the other job that you have?
So as a backup job, which right now has been a blessing for our family, I am an RN supervisor for an organization in New Jersey called New Jersey Institute for Disabilities. And they have residential and day programs for individuals within the state of New Jersey with, again, intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I oversee the group homes where they live, to kind of, you know, help the clients, but also to be support for the staff and provide trainings and just general oversight.
I would imagine that the staffing at these group homes and day programs is pretty stressed right now. It
was, at first it was, and then it got a little better when they shifted some of the day program staff to the residential setting because they weren't working. So it has improved a little bit, but, you know, it's still an issue for the agency across the board.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You and it looks like you know what, you don't seem as stressed these days.
It depends on when you catch me.
Well, and like I said, it's a totally different thing, and so to hear that, it's refreshing too. But you can't just have one job.
No,
we have to have multiple jobs. Yeah. Keep it busy. That's awesome. We need more people like you out there doing what you do, and there are many of them, and we really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because you guys, you are awesome, and so are everybody else that's out there on the front lines assisting. And it's the stuff that, again, it's taken for granted. This is their job. This is what they do on a regular basis. So you're putting yourself at risk being out there at the same time trying to just do your job.
To help people, right?
And to help people. It takes special people to be able to not only do what you do, but also go out there and put themselves in those positions.
So I look at some of my old colleagues, and I really feel for them. I do feel like I'm in a little bubble, and I do feel super safe and protected. And when I do have to go out, I take the necessary measures. But even then, we're at a reduced risk because there's not a lot of people coming and going. We really try to limit that in the group home setting to reduce the risk for our clients. So I feel safe compared to a lot of my friends that I kind of left behind in my old role, you know. So I know they're struggling. So I'm no hero. I feel like a coward, if you will.
But again, you know what? It's humble. I mean, that comes from the tree, the apple tree there. It doesn't fall far at the same time, but that's what she signed up for. And so, and I think it's different. We look at it so differently than you, and that's why you're doing what it is that you do. So
listen, what you're doing is needed, and not every job description is the same, but it doesn't mean it's less important. So you don't need a talk from me. You know how I feel about what you do.
But you know, you never know.
You never. All right. Anyway.
Wait till the kids start running across the hallway, and then they run downstairs and scream through the kitchen, and then I might need it another little bit.
So I was going to ask you. I know a lot of times when people talk about working from home, people go, "Oh, you're so lucky. You work from home," but that's not necessarily easier than working in an office, and especially now with the kids home all the time and Jimmy home all the time. That adds a whole new dimension to the job.
Yeah, you know it.
I hear Jimmy has a beard these days.
Yeah, he trimmed it back a bit. I couldn't do it anymore. But it really is a double-edged sword. It's like something that we kind of always dreamed about, like him being home more, because, you know, just the nature of being involved in a family business, you know. But it's wonderful to have him home, and then sometimes I wish I can send him your way, you know, like.
Yeah.
You heard that?
Yeah, we hear him.
Yeah, we hear him.
So who's the teacher? Who's doing the homeschooling?
James.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all James. He's doing it all. He's picking up with a lot, almost the bulk of all the kind of house stuff. Oh, here they come. Look, say hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Nikki.
Oh, there he goes. And
hi, Lex.
Hi, Lex. I miss you.
Miss you too. So this is what it's like. Exactly. Liz sent me once a meme that you know, like talking to me sometimes is like talking with, you know, someone with Tourette's, because we're in the middle of a conversation and you just start hearing yelling in the background. Like,
it still holds true, by the way.
If not enhanced. If not enhanced.
Oh, well, hey.
Thank you, Naz.
Thank you, Naz. Go back to work. Go back to those kids. We hope that they're not totally driving you crazy.
No, they're good. They're good. But thank you, guys.
Did you tell her what her reward for being the hero of the day is?
I told her today.
My hard seltzer that I've been waiting for.
Yes. I'll be driving it over later today or tomorrow.
Just like today.
That is your reward.
I can have it while I make my meatloaf tonight, because I was told to maybe have some little favorite recipes. So the tonight is meatloaf. Last night was pork chops with sauteed with garlic and lemon. I thought it was restaurant quality. So
So what is Jimmy's favorite meal?
Chicken fried cheese.
yeah, but he's not getting that right now.
Or lemon chicken, I'm sorry.
And it's not a chicken roll from here from the snack bar.
He likes the pinwheels.
Oh, the pinwheels. He likes the pinwheels.
It's like anything Italian. So he's really like I make lemon piccata. He likes that. He likes I make like sausage with broccoli rabe and pasta. You know. Yeah.
I think you're cooking.
Anything with garlic and butter and wine. You know. Put it in front of him.
With that combination.
No. All right. You're the best.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Naz.
Thank you.
Love you.
I love you too.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the hero of the day.
Well, that was double for me because she truly, I mean, and she took on an additional job at this time, so she's really pulling double time, and I got to see her because I haven't seen her for a while, and I got a little peek at my grandchildren, so it was bonus day for me. So now I'm like,
and all of a sudden, Nikki was shy.
You change your emo.
Now I'm emo because I am emotional now. Yeah. Anyway, so go up.
In honor of your teenage granddaughter.
Yeah.
Oh, hey! So
yes,
so if you have a hero that you'd like to
Yes.
nominate and be considered as one of our heroes of the day, there'll be a nomination form on our page. Shoot us over, send us a text, let us know who you'd like for us to recognize, and you just never know what that's going to turn
And it doesn't
into.
have to be the run of the mill. It doesn't have to be a nurse or a doctor. There are so many people that are stepping up during this time.
I don't know if run of the mill was the best choice of words.
No, I didn't
That's
mean
like
it.
something I
didn't
would
mean,
say.
you know what I meant. It didn't need to be your typical, like a nurse or a doctor. There were other people that are doing jobs. You're right. That was
I'm just busting your horns.
that that are putting themselves in harm's way every day. That we don't even think about it. Like I said, the bus drivers, train conductors. They're dealing with people every day. Anyway.
And several of our own staff members will be will certainly be recognized.
Yes, absolutely.
Kevin just shared Angelica as another one, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And she works in one of the places that was really lit up like I hate to say like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. And thank you, Nazareth, really, for all that you do. Hey, if it's Thursday, and it wouldn't be Thursday without a special visit from our good friend and now your good friend, Pamela Silvestri.
Everybody's good
Hi, Pam.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Everything is good.
Happy
Just
Thursday.
bombarded with emails all of a sudden. Woo. But everything's good. And we just wrote a story about food pantries on Staten Island. And one of the things that people, and I had mentioned that Mount Loretto was closed. It's at St. Edwards, and apparently it's open. So I'm just getting like tons of emails. So anyway, just fix that online. Everything is good.
Well, that's a good thing. And you've been uber busy this week pumping out
Yeah,
stories.
there's a lot going on. There's a lot.
A lot. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
We're hanging.
We're still here.
We're hanging. We're excited. The other day we got we did a live taste test of Flagship's new hard seltzers, which was exciting and fun.
Delicious.
Pete, it smells like food again inside because Gennaro's is reopened. So we have a little sense of normalcy here, but we're hanging on. We're certainly trying to do what we can, as you know the deal. So hey, I missed this morning. I missed your update this morning. I was out and about. That's a story for later. So what's going on in the world of food today?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say hello to Nazareth and you, Frank. I'm sorry, I don't think I said hello. And also want to say hello to Michelle and Anne. And hello, and that's very nice. I saw also Dennis. Hello. And anyway, so basically, there's a lot going on. A lot of restaurants are reopening. There's a lot of talk about, people opening no matter what in restaurants. They're going to open. And, the sheriff's office has been visiting some restaurants that have been putting tables and chairs outside because al fresco dining is kind of the way to go forward in this. And the restaurants are very adamant about it. They've had many meetings, talking amongst themselves for the first time. The restaurants are actually getting together and having conversations, which is good to see, because we don't have a Staten Island Restaurant and Tavern Association. So, but they're talking about it.
So have they pretty much? Because I know you mentioned this morning that there were hefty fines that they're looking to levy against some of these businesses. Are they just going to accept it, or it's scary.
Angelina's Kitchen over at the Staten Island Mall has actually, I just want to just backtrack just a bit.
Yeah.
March, everybody was in the dark. March 16th is when this whole thing started, where you couldn't have dining rooms anymore. People were horrified, So it took about a week for people to kind of like muddle through things. After about a week, then there was this sense of depression and darkness. You're talking about stages of grief, essentially.
Yeah.
And then come April, people were accepting of it. Like, it was just, okay, this is the way I've got to operate. And now it's the warmer weather. It's Memorial Day weekend, and people are like buzzing, and they want to get out, and they see what other states are doing, and they look at this as a excuse my language, a contest between the governor and the mayor.
Yeah.
And so, as a result, all these business owners are in the middle of it.
Right.
And it's terrible. It really is a terrible situation, and you can feel the frustration. People are really angry, and it's exhibited best. I think there was a meeting that went on yesterday with a bunch of restaurant owners and a couple of politicians, and while that meeting was going on, I wasn't invited to it, and they conducted their business and their conversations privately. And in the meantime, I was getting I got a couple of texts from restaurant owners. I got a call from the nice guy, Sal, over at Palermo Pizzeria in Richmond Valley, who was visited over the weekend by the sheriff's office for putting out chairs. He and his wife were sitting outside having lunch, and they got busted basically for, not busted, but they were told to pack it in, put the chairs back. Yeah. And they weren't given a fine or anything. It was just sort of a warning, but it was jarring. And diagonally across the street is Cabo. And they also had that situation. Cabo was different. They have an open air bar. They opened up all the windows. It was a really beautiful day, and people were coming to take their pickup orders, and they had the masks on and everything else. But the Cabo, they were giving buying drinks for people, and people were buying drinks and sitting around bar stools. And as a convenience, the restaurant gave them a bar stool to sit on, spaced out. But the sheriff's office came in, and they told them to break it up. And then also Angelina's Kitchen had a visit yesterday from 4 police officers who were just kind of doing their job. They were just saying, like, they gave a flyer out and said kind of the penalties for drinking outside in the open air, which is what people are doing. Not that Vincent from Angelina's is promoting it, but he put a DJ in effect, and it's like a big party over at Angelina's because there's nothing in the parking lots by the mall, so they're all tailgating, and he just provides the music, so it's like a big party, and they're drinking outside, and that's it. So
yeah.
So and it's the open container law, right? So I mean, people have been tailgating forever. No different than going to the baseball game and tailgating, which you're not supposed to.
Right.
So then, where do you push the limit? And you and I talked a little bit about this the other day, where I have no problem with restaurants being able, when they get to reopen, you want to give them opportunities to put outdoor seating
Right.
and
We talked about
without permitting and for a period of time within limitations, go for it. Right. And I think there comes this other factor where, and I love Vinny's ingenuity to go, hey, let's give them some music. At the same time, you got to be careful of what we're doing here. Right. So open containers can't blatantly be beer and, red Solo cups or, the thermoses that we all use every day. I mean, there are ways that I hate to promote that, but there are certainly ways to do it and do it safely without causing a ruckus. Yeah. But the couple of photos that I did see outside of the kitchen, it didn't look like they were causing any harm. They were just sitting there, professional tailgaters. Yeah. But where do you draw the line? And I understand that too, because you can't do that everywhere. You could do it outside your house and nobody's going to break your chops. But
Staten Island, we're different. We're in my opinion, I'm a native. I could say this comfortably that we're the native New Yorkers. We've been here. This is our home, and we're going to do whatever we want on our property. I mean, that's kind of the mentality of, I think, people who live here.
Right.
And we're not the rest of New York City. You know, we are the borough of Parks, and we're open, and we're, there's a question of just how affected we were with the coronavirus, as opposed to other boroughs. And so there's a whole lot of other discussions here that, we're big people and we can kind of take care of ourselves. I mean, that's kind of the sentiment, like, okay, let's move on now, because we're losing tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, each week.
Right.
Frank, you brought up that you lost $500,000, or you'll expect to lose that by June.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So forget about revenues. We're just talking about the bills, rent, utilities. And we're able to pay a lot of our bills, but I will tell you, the rent's one of those things that most of us aren't able to pay because it's so high. And listen, you're talking about a 40,000 square foot building. What do you think? Property taxes are going to be due now.
Soon, right?
So there's been no revenue to cover those costs.
Wow.
So yeah, by the time we get to reopen, it's going to be close to, if not above that number, just in rent and taxes alone. And so, yeah, many landlords are working with their tenants, and I don't know what that looks like just yet. And I won't know until we're at the stage of being able to reopen. But even reopening, I say it again, 40,000 square feet was never designed to be operated at 20,000 square feet at half capacity. It's just not designed in that nature, especially here in New York. I could argue in parts of the country
they could get away with it.
Yeah, especially if you own your property outright.
Correct.
You don't have a mortgage anymore. It's a totally different ballgame.
Right.
Even if you have a small mortgage here, if I had I have a landlord, so essentially I have a mortgage.
Right.
But if I had a mortgage, I actually might be paying less to the bank than I would be than paying to my landlord. But at the same time, yeah, we all have these massive bills that we're going to rack up, and then that does not include waste. You talk about the beer that we had to get rid of. You talk about the food. We had some food waste that we weren't able to use. Lots of things, and now ordering supplies. With no money coming in,
additional stuff that we wouldn't ordinarily have needed.
Yeah, and we're always stocked up. I mean, I laugh all the time. Our office supplies, like you could go in the office and it's Staples.
Right, you can shop there.
You really can. And same thing with cleaning. We're always ahead of that, but that's just what we've done.
Right,
and we've been able to do it. But now, hey, we really have to. I don't want to hoard product, but we're going to be at a point where we're going to need, because we can't get it. Right. So what does it look like coming when we do get to open? We're buying thermometers and masks and gloves at much higher quantities. And so we're racking up more bills with very few dollars coming in. And I will tell you, even for other businesses, our accounts payables are going to be a problem. Not receiving money that's owed. Those receivables coming in.
And that's the position that we're in. I mean, I have some, I don't have a super big shop, but I have some receivables out that I'm concerned that coming back, are they going to come back in a capacity where they're going to be able to pay me?
Right.
So now not only did I not get paid for the order, I had to put money out to pay for it. So, it's a scary, no matter, like, we have two different sized businesses that we're concerned
with. But it's relatable.
But it's the same. Yeah. We're looking at the same problems, and it's tough.
And I don't think our concerns are any different than than many other businesses. So Pam's column the other day was specific about restaurants, but this bowling center the entertainment business mirrors each other in different ways. And I shared with Pam, we're very weather dependent. So is a restaurant. Yeah. When it's raining, it's great. People want to go out, get out of the house and do things. If it's cold, once it starts snowing,
maybe not so much.
Summertime, the businesses outdoors are busy. We're not. Even, and people are going away. This next 8 to 12, 24 months is going to be very different. Yeah. I do foresee a lot of staycations, people staying home, supporting local restaurants. And
she mentioned that this morning. She said, Pam mentioned it. She said, maybe they'll stay here on Forest Avenue.
Yeah. And I think I go back to 2008, 9, and 10, and we up to like dipping into 12, we saw a lot of people staying home. Yeah. So in her piece specifically, food costs. Food costs are now rising.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not complaining because, and I follow this up all the time. Hey, with every challenge comes an opportunity. So we got to find, and we keep talking about, hey, there are new ways to operate in this new normal.
Yeah.
But when it comes to food costs, forget about waste. I can't, we're known for pizza and certain products. We can't buy some of the flour in bulk because we're not producing as much as we were. So I would imagine really, and you share this in your column, other restaurants are feeling the same thing as they get closer to opening. I can't imagine it being much different. Are you hearing otherwise?
No, it's just, you're voicing pretty much what everybody's going through. And I admire people who were able to shift gears very quickly, and had not that they didn't have any shame, but they, were just like, okay, well, this is what we're doing. We're going to survive, like Julian at, Blue, he's started selling cold cuts and, and forgive me for being a broken record here, but, Danny Mills at Ready and Dean's started selling steaks that were not cooked.
Yeah.
Massimo started selling cleaning products, which is kind of funny because he's, a Michelin chef. So, it's pretty kind of funny, but.
Yeah, but listen, when he was on the show with us, he talked about it. He goes, "Well, I have access to it. If I have access to it, I want to make sure others have it," and so which is fantastic. And I mean, moving forward, we're going to see so many different things in the restaurant scene. Sadly, we know that there are some casualties already. We've already started seeing that. Some not coming back. And I mentioned this, but Naz and I talked about this the other day. In some cases, and I hate to say it, but it could be also right-sizing the marketplace to some extent. We have a lot of Italian restaurants. We have a lot of pizzerias. Yeah. The bagel deli business has certainly right-sized in our market. Yeah. There was a time, and within the last 10 years, we had a bagel store on every corner. Yeah. And we just couldn't sustain it anymore with the growth of bakeries and other things. Right. Now we've got banks on every corner. And can we truly sustain all these banks? Yeah. We've already started seeing them close. So this business landscape is going to change again. Yeah. Good and bad. Yeah. Right? So I agree. The best that will survive and those that can afford to survive, but doesn't mean they have money rolling in the dough in the bank. Right.
Yeah. I definitely think the ones that can make it through this are going to gain so much clarity in their business and really are going to have to really be sharp. And going forward, I think it's going to help them be better business owners, actually. Yeah. I mean, but you have to be able to sustain that. And, there were going to be many people, smart business people, just got hit at the wrong time. And it's just at a weak time for them. Oddly, I see new places that weren't even there before opening. Have and I think to jump into the restaurant business at this time is quite takes a pair of big ones.
Yeah, I think that we're looking at also, we don't know who got the PPP money. You don't know what the terms are, so that might be forcing people's hands to do that sort of thing. But you have to use it within a certain amount of time.
Right.
But I think, no matter what, like Peter Botros has invested over $100,000 into Sally's Southern on, Forest Avenue, and come hell or high water, he's obligated to that lease and he's going to open. So, what I find interesting, guys, is that I wrote about this restaurant, Pasta Vino, opening their second location, which is called Tap Room. It's Navy Pier Tap Room.
Right.
And, they have a beautiful format. I mean, the food is absolutely beautiful looking. I can't wait to taste it. They're doing like gourmet pub grub. And in this environment, that food kind of translates okay to, the public because it's reasonably priced. It's sort of date night, and get the cocktails and maybe drive down to the waterfront and sort of take a peek when you go pick up your stuff. So, there's a little bit, that's sort of attractive, but I thought people are going to read this like crazy. The story's going to go viral. Oh my gosh, a restaurant opens up in the pandemic. So anyway, I put the story up and it's like, nobody seemed to care. I put another story about ShopRite's going to the 24-hour format again. Boom. It's like everybody wants it. I don't know. It's so funny. It's so Staten Island, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, ShopRite open 24 hours, so.
And it was funny when you brought that up on the show. I feel like I live in a bubble, but I never really knew that they were open 24 hours. I knew they were open late, but never put that in perspective. And then that same day, we were having a conversation with one of our guys, and he's like, "Yeah, that's when I go shopping."
That's when right.
And I'm like, well, I bet you that if I was up late, it's probably the best time to go.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting your meats and certain products late at night, early morning when they're stocking, but still, I mean, it depends on what you go there for.
Right.
Hey, and then you mentioned Peter and Phil are opening up a pizza place in place of where Kim's was. So Rustic Pizza, I believe they're calling it. So yeah, another spot popping up within a short period of time. I'm assuming they're going to try to get that open as fast as possible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there's another really nice restaurant opening up called Bocce, which is in Dongan Hills, and it's owned by a really famous restaurant owner who is from Staten Island. Did you guys see that?
On Richmond Road, right?
Yeah, I figured you'd pass it.
Where Mario's was?
Where Mario's was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so I heard that the concept also includes a deck. Instead of where the catering hall they had up there, they were going to use it as an outdoor deck. Is that still what he's looking to do? They're from Brooklyn? Is that what you said?
He's from Staten Island, actually. But he's got an interesting story. Alessandro, his name is, and I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'll just call him Alessandro. And he is a really famous restaurateur. He grew up in the restaurant business from Patricia's in the Bronx in Morris Park, and the Patricia's on Staten Island. They're related, they're cousins. And so, but the concepts aren't.
Wait, I'm sorry, 1 second. That family's huge, by the way. Everybody's a cousin. In some way, shape, or form, there are cousins between the Brooklyn location, the Staten Island location, and the cousins that opened up Patricia's in Red Bank. And then they're all cousins. So it's just funny. I'm sorry. They're all cousins. Big family.
They're all cousins, yeah. But like even on Staten Island, you don't have to be related to somebody to call each other cousin. So,
yeah.
You know.
So anyways, so you were saying.
So anyway, but the guy had a 4-star New York 4-star restaurant in Manhattan. It was New York Times rated, and it was a Japanese restaurant. And anyway, but I don't know what the format is. I have no idea. And they were very mum about it when I had bumped into him while I was doing the construction. I was actually there to go look at the restaurant next door, which was a hibachi place that was taken from.
Right.
That took a year and a half to open, and now they got plunged into this pandemic. Like they opened in January. It's called Sakawa, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And the people moved. It's happening a lot with the Chinese American community. They moved up to Staten Island from Maryland because they thought it was New York City. They came here. They established. I think it's the second owner of the place. It was a bank. It was like unprecedented that a bank would turn into a restaurant. I'm like, wow, that's just the craziest thing. Do you know how much construction you have to do to put in the ventilation system for a hibachi place? It was incredible. They must have invested their whole life savings into it, and then and then this happened. So
yeah, my sister-in-law and brother happened to go there. They actually enjoyed it. They said it was the mark is always Arirang, and it's been here for such a long time that everybody goes, oh, hibachi, and you automatically assume Arirang because it was one of the only ones. And now we have several options here in Dongan Hills. We now have two options, one on Highland Boulevard here, and then which is a few hibachi tables. Which Round Pie is opening up where the phone store was. So talk about another restaurant going into a non-restaurant space. Yeah. But still, Hood's the whole exhaust, and then up the block, and then Mizu has their location. So we've got other hibachi options, which is great too. Which adds to more sushi options. But they said they enjoyed it. They said it was good. I haven't been there yet. I'm looking forward to when they get to reopen. And the sad part, Mario had a and I love him. He's a great guy and great personality, great chef, but just couldn't truck it. And so now he's working in the restaurant they've got in Manhattan, doing his thing. But it's a shame because it was it could have been. We always, Pam, I'm sure you've heard this. We don't have a cafe pasta.
Yeah.
Right? Cafe pasta was casual. Don't care what you look like. Always got a great meal. And that kind of could have been that casual dining. But then it looked like he wanted both. Yeah. Which is, I think, the downfall.
It's hard to balance that.
Interesting. Somebody on the scroll here, Ken Soto, says, "Don't forget Mizu in Tottenville." Yeah, they have.
Yeah, that's his regular spot.
Oh yeah. Well, but yeah, Mizu just reopened about 2 weeks ago, And but there's and W's Bar and Grill. It's not Japanese food, but they're over there. They're doing they're doing like their pub grub and everything. A lot of the places did manage to stay open in this whole thing, which I just admire so much. I can't even imagine owning a restaurant at this time. I really can't. So, but in any case, I just also want to mention the issue of food pantries real quick. Apparently, a lot of people, who are unemployed or newly unemployed or furloughed. I mean, I have to go on furlough in another couple of weeks at the advance. Everybody's got to take their turn. It's hard. We're all feeling it. And there's a huge reduction in people's incomes. And I just don't know I don't think it bodes very well in about 3 or 4 months, when people don't have money. And I think it's going to just get a little bit worse. Not necessarily for the restaurants opening, because, just sort of in the long term, when we're getting down to Christmas time and we're getting into catering seasons that are just not going to happen because people are looking to save money. And I think it's just all going to kind of crash maybe around September, October. So, it's not good.
Yeah, it'll get worse before it gets better, right? That's what you're saying. It's no different than the with COVID, right? Where we talked about the peak and then getting better. And so as far as money and the economy, and so many more people are still going to be on unemployment. Whether you are opening for limited hours, you're at half capacity, you don't need your staff. And, those are the things that we're going to have to be looking at soon because we don't know what phase 4 looks like, right? So we're in phase 4 today. Doesn't mean the governor turns around and says, hey, you can open in phase 2 and 3.
Right.
I don't think that's the case, but he could. And at the same point, what does that look like? How do we get there? And maybe by phase 4, we keep saying it'll look different. Right. And then how far does that look different? How long is that? And so it is the unknown. But more people are going to continue to be out of work. More people will get back to work. But still be out of work for a period of time.
Businesses, all these businesses that are not, especially the restaurant business, who, there were so many, some of them had so much staffing people that are not going to be going back to work, that it's scary times.
And then the money is tempting because, people are making $600 over their regular distribution.
Right. Correct, and that's that ends in July, right?
Yeah, but it's easy to get used to that. So hopefully and the intention of giving that is to spend it. So people aren't going to save it, and we're going to get to that point in July, and we're not going to have that extra $600. That's the other issue. So.
Right, and so there's the bill on the table that was passed. It has to go to the Senate, and we don't believe it'll pass, but they'll change it, and because they need to add more money in stimulus, so to speak. Right. But to extend that $600 to January seems absolutely crazy because we're going to be up and running, and so are people really willing to risk their jobs for some extra money for a period of time, and that's already happened. Short term. Some people have already been given their opportunity to go and work, and they've said, "No, I'm making more money at home." So it's going to be a challenge, and I understand why we would do those things to an extent, but we can't continue to live like this. We need to get businesses back up and rolling. So on the restaurant scene, you've got opening and closings. The markets. They seem to be consistent. ShopRite's now open more hours. I'm noticing more delivery times. Anything else on the market scene that people should be concerned about?
Well, you've got to keep your fingers crossed that home delivery and the curbside pickup stay. It's got to stay because, honestly, I'm not comfortable really doing full-blown supermarket shopping anymore. I don't want to spend an hour or two online. And I live near Key Food in West Brighton, and I know everybody's an essential worker and everything, but the store is it's really hard to navigate in there. I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
So, the shelves are still empty. So, you're still seeing issues of restocking being a problem, that the toilet paper shortage, there's not a shortage, it's just that people are still hoarding. And then also paper towels and paper products, cleaning supplies. You cannot get Clorox wipes anywhere.
No.
And but smaller markets like Buyers Market, like Market Fresh and Rosebank, Family Fruit in Rossville, Fruit started a delivery about 2.5 weeks ago, and hopefully it stays. I mean, people on the South Shore, there's a lot of elderly on the South Shore that, they don't have services like there are in the North Shore. So having the convenience of a market bringing you food, for free with no delivery charge, or actually they do a delivery charge, and there's a $50 minimum order. But the point is that, your pork stores like, Montalbano's has been amazing, putting together meat packages, and, the delivery is phenomenal. You can't get I don't ever remember having delivery service on Staten Island. When I went to college in Pennsylvania, everything was like, wow, a new world, you get not on Staten Island, and we're in New York City, but we're the kind of people that go to we go to markets. We like to go shopping. We like to see the food. And I think that's a European thing, or maybe something from Brooklyn that we brought over here, where you go shop 86th Street or Avenue U, that's what we do. So, but I don't think that, I hope it doesn't go away,
Yeah, and we've been taking advantage of Shop Right at Home for a long time, and it really just started with just getting the heavy stuff delivered to the house. The bleaches and the detergents and stuff, and I mean it makes it so much easier. Yeah. And now I've talked about it a lot. We're taking advantage of it more and more. Yeah. There's no reason for me to go to that store and spend. So of course they want you in the store because they want you to be tempted by all the other stuff. And I'm one of those buyers. If I see it, I got to try it. But I will say I've been very curbed with just, this is what I need. This is what I get. And I'll look and add stuff, but online.
But it's a different experience.
Yeah, it's total. And it's not as tempting because you can't walk through the aisles of Costco and see something new. When you go on the grocery side, you don't see all of that. So I try digging and looking, but it's just not the same. So therefore they're losing the revenue on the impulse buys at the same time, making a few bucks on the delivery. I mean, to pay the $9.99 is not that big of a deal. It's for that, to pay for a little bit for the convenience. I enjoy it. Do I like going to the store? Sure. But I mean, this is to your point, Pam. I do hope it's here to stay. And for those that really do need it, that can't get up and go out and try other things. And the beauty of this what's happening in the business community during this pandemic, they're trying different things.
Right.
And for us to be able to get delivered dinner from Venom when we did, we're so far out of the delivery zone. Yeah. That was such a treat. And so can things like that continue after this? And I hope they do. It's got to still be profitable for the business owner. Right. They can't lose money doing it, but can they do it and make it worthwhile?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, there are a lot of things to try out. So the tap room, I just thought of this. So the initial thought was downstairs was going to be the tap room, upstairs, the steakhouse. Is that are they still forging forward with that concept?
Yeah.
And then just opening downstairs at this time, or did they're because that's the grub that they can deliver.
Right.
Exactly. So that's the easier lift, I guess, initially. And but interestingly, the way that they set it up was really well done. I mean, like, very efficient. They have the chef Josh Lorano, very talented guy, has a Michelin star from another restaurant. He's the chef at Pastavino across the way at Irby. And it's going to be, and also the manager there, John Gorga, is also going to be managing. So like the same team is, the business isn't what it used to be, but they were able to split themselves up and do the programs on each restaurant, like the distinct programs, and keep up with it. Amazing.
Yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to trying that
Surf out. was on our rotation steadily before they closed. I mean, we used to love to go there, have a burger and hang out at the bar and watch baseball. But the view.
It really is nice. Hey, Pam, well, we're going to do this again next Thursday because it's, we're still sitting here in quarantine. And you never know who's going to pop on.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Pam, for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to have you and talk food and the scene. It's nice to see today. We just wanted to give everybody an update. Hey, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and a lot more restaurants are open, and we're getting there slowly but surely. It's just not going to be the same, but for a while, but we'll get there.
We will.
I'm sure you've got stories you're writing. Of the stories that you've written in the last 60 days, is there one that stands out to you that of a story that you felt like you just had to tell, but that you've got to tell so far?
I think that the Chinese restaurants closing are all around the same time, around March 16th, March 17th. I think that was an incredible phenomenon because we were fearful of eating Chinese food, and we kind of, didn't go there, and then they realized what was going on, and it was just like to pick. I'm not in that, I'm not leaving the house on March 17th, March 18th, so I don't know what's going on, and I'm not seeing that they're shut down. So it was a matter of readers calling in and saying, "Hey, my 10 favorite Chinese places I order from, and these are the names of the places. They're not open anymore." I'm like, 10? You order from 10 places anyway? But yes, like people at a clip were realizing. So that was interesting. That's a good question.
And was that and what's been the most read? Because the funny part is you talk about, you wrote the story that we talked about the other day that's important, and then and not that the other story is not, but it's just interesting what people gravitate to. Right. What has been the most read of the stories you've got to tell?
I think it had to do with catering deposits. People, because I asked in the headline, what parties canceled, what happens to my deposit? And I think that people Googled that very question.
Yeah.
And I have letters from people all around the country to this day. Every day I get a letter from somebody, Florida, Arizona, people with proms, who had the proms canceled, and the policies generally is that there was no refunds in these catering halls. Right. So they're out the money and they don't know what to do. And, thousands of dollars. And then the people on Staten Island, I mean, what do you do? If you give one person the money back, you got to give it all back. And, use, and some of it's on credit cards. So, they call the credit card company, and the credit card company's been impounding it from people's bank accounts. It's just a real mess.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're hoping on rescheduling. And no different for our party business. And we've done both. We've held deposits because people said we're going to reschedule, and then we've refunded deposits. I have a hard time of not giving people back their money. Yeah. I mean, at some point, the money's not there, right? So you have to take that in consideration during the time. Hey, they're trying to just stay afloat. So we bank on those deposits to help run our businesses before your event. It's not like we keep it in escrow. It's part of the everyday business. So, and I get that. And some of the larger catering halls do that. They do hold money in escrow. But I mean, you have to be a large business to be able to do that. So yeah, that's interesting. So now you should just start a column, Pam, on your side, like
it is.
Channel 7 does.
That's very funny.
Well, hey,
maybe in another lifetime.
There you go. In your next, maybe during furlough time, you get some extra time, which you won't have extra time, which we know.
Great idea. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to a week off. I have been nonstop since March 7th. Yeah. No, maybe a little earlier, but I have not taken a day off.
But you're going to be off on Sunday, right? You're taking Sunday?
Well, I'm still doing the broadcast at 9 a.m.
Right.
But I'm not writing a column on Sunday because we don't print on Monday. So that's the point,
Yeah. All right. We'll enjoy some time with the boys and Dave.
And, I will. So happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, same to you. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks,
Enjoy your hot dog.
Oh, I love hot dogs. Just twice a yeyear. That's it. Memorial Day is my day. Okay.
Good deal. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Pam. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hot dog. As you mentioned hot dog, this will be the first hot dog I've had in a while. We've been burgers. We've been grilling burgers. And that package of hot dogs looks at me every time. This week I am having a hot dog.
Well,
What's your go-to hot dog?
Hebrew National. Did we talk about this here?
No. We didn't.
Oh, so it wasn't here. Last week, every Wednesday night, friends of ours in the bowling industry get on a happy hour. I missed last night's happy hour. Sorry, friends. I was just toast yesterday. Reggie Frederick, who's in Tacoma, Washington, had made a trip here at one point, and they were Joey Lispina and a couple of them. They went out and wanted a hot dog. Well, he had a sabrette. I don't even know what Reggie didn't call it a sabrette. It's a sabret or he called it something. And I was like, oh, and he wasn't impressed. And I will say, and not that sabret's a New York hot dog. You see it a lot. And I always laugh just because the cart has the name and the flag doesn't mean that that's what's in there. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I said, you probably didn't have a sabret. You probably had a cheap hot dog
Right.
because they get that stuff for free. No different than us getting stuff from Pepsi, and it's just what they have. He goes, "Oh, well, that's disappointing." I said, "Some of them legitimately have. They always have the packages, but this went into the whole hot dog
Discussion of hot
I
dog.
like a Nathan's hot dog, but from there, with
from Nathan's.
Nathan's French fries,
With the French fries, correct.
but if I'm making them at home, we're a Hebrew
Hebrew
National.
National, yes, I like it.
And then if we're at the golf outing, once a year I have a spicy hot dog that Marco. I think those are Sabrettes. I forget the brand on those.
Yeah, I don't like the spice.
Those are delicious. I guess Kevin likes those too. But that's the only time I have those. And I probably have more than one because I have one at like 8 a.m.
Right.
with the Bloody Mary that we're drinking. And then by the time we come around the turn and we have another one, we need it.
Right, it's the middle of the day for us at that point at the golf outing.
The golf outing thing is so funny because there's no such thing as breakfast food. Like, I mean, we have bagels and stuff, but people, they get to the turn.
We never seem to make it to breakfast.
No,
so by the time we eat, we're having a
hot dog.
Hot dog
at 7, 8 a.m.
or an Uncrustable.
Yeah, but it's at 7, 8 a.m. Like, there's no such thing of having a hot dog for lunch. It's just, and the guys coming around the turn, guys and gals coming around the turn, it's their turn to get it. Yeah. But then they always come back. Right. I have to say, that's probably at the outing, that is one of the best spots to just sit because how people congregate.
Yeah.
And at Lotterette, when you come from both sides, you get that double.
You get that crossover.
Yeah.
You get a hot dog, you get a shot. Jimmy and Rami are somehow always there. Fireball. Giannini.
Joey G mentions that Pam is certainly one of the best guests that we've had. She's been great. We invited her week 1 just to come on and talk about food, and what it turned into is a weekly visit from Pam and her friends. Today we took a break from inviting the others because we just wanted to talk the business of food. So next week, you never know what's going to happen. We'll have some other friends. We talked. Danny Mills' name came up yesterday, so
maybe we'll grab Danny.
We're gonna have Danny come in and talk about what they've been doing. I mean, just to order a steak and takeout is difficult, but to get raw meat, I think it's great.
We had a delivery of towards the beginning. We had ordered a steak dinner delivered, and it was great.
And we're talking Ruddy and Beans for anybody that's
packaged beautifully. Food was hot, and it was great. It was great, but he's being really, and even Julian from Blue and Beso and Bayou. They're selling cold cuts. They're doing specials, so they're doing trays of food. So, like I said, the people that are really thinking on their feet and being innovative with their ideas are,
But he's always been that way too. That's nothing new for him. And
both of them have really kind of fought the good fight in the restaurant business, honestly.
All right. So wait, Anne likes the Nathan's hot dog with mustard, melted cheese, and sauerkraut.
I'm assuming
that's the shortened versions of sauerkraut.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm not a big sauerkraut guy, but if I'm going to Nathan's, I'm having the hot dog. I love cheese and I like everything on my hot dog.
Yeah, not me. I like hot dog with mustard and sauerkraut.
Depends on the day. Like, I can do the plain hot dog, just mustard, but I could load it up. Like, if I'm making it's
I don't
ketchup,
like all the other stuff on
spicy mustard, relish,
really, ketchup
and onions.
and mustard?
Oh yeah, and cheese. Oh, yeah, of course. Like,
I have never had cheese on a hot dog.
Oh, Naz, you don't know what you miss. My father used to grill the hot dogs, cut them down the middle, and then put cheese in them, and like, you can't. Velveeta slices are Velveeta slices. I mean, that's like oil and whatever. I mean, they're delicious, but when you get fresh, like, sliced American
real
cheese,
yeah, right. She can't spell sauerkraut.
She can't spell sauerkraut. I think you got it. I don't know if that's right. Mustard and onions for Kevin. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's how Ray likes
onions,
it,
and I love to make them, and then I keep them, I jar them, and have them.
I
have to do that soon. Hillary's. Let me tell you, I'm attempting a barbecue pie and a buffalo pie tonight for dinner. She'll report back for discussion tomorrow. All right, so you don't have to trade Robin, because if we went back and we talked about the buffalo pizza thing,
right?
You don't have to trade him in if you guys can come to some conclusion.
An
and if you're ordering that buffalo pie and you want blue cheese. Marco said that he'd be happy to do that. And I just found there's Wicked the relish, like, I mean, there's always the gherkins, like the traditional Galdens.
Right.
The Wicked Pete's, Wicked something. I'm telling you, like the freshest.
Really?
Yes.
If
Awesome.
I liked relish, I would try it, but
Awesome.
I don't like that
It's
either.
got a little spice to it too.
I like pickles. I don't like
Relish
relish.
is just cut up pickle.
Well, that's all it is.
Pickles should be eaten as a pickle.
So
Pickles
nasty.
on your burgers.
I love pickles.
But
Deep fried pickles, dill, garlic,
You
any
can
kind
tell
of pickle.
it's a pickle. It's a round. It looks like a pickle.
I even like the fake ones, like the really thin, like very like tart. Oh, they're any pickle. The
You know
only ones I
who's-
don't like. I'm sorry.
You know who sells pickles? Summit. In Summit, the meat house.
The
She's
deli
got
pickles.
Yeah,
No, those are my
she's got
favorite.
the nice
The
ones.
deli, which they're hard to come by now. Those regular deli pickles that come in the jar that be like, I
Yeah,
love
she's got them.
old fashioned. However, in the last several years, a couple of them are buying those pre-packaged pickles.
Oh, yeah, like
They're
It's
disgusting.
frantic.
Like I wanted deli pickles for a barbecue. I think it was 4th of July or something. And we had placed an order from one of our places and they sent these. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted. Like, all right, but I'll try it.
Not the same.
They were gross. Like no matter what I did with them, that you couldn't fix them to be like you couldn't even wash them. However, they were marinated. They were disgusting, but they were pre-packaged and
Right.
like for a deli. I mean, that's easy to grab and go. Versus, I'm sure the waste in whatever preservative something. And Costco, I bought a thing of pickles. This big plastic tub. Oh,
That's how.
they are really good.
That's how she sells them.
Yeah,
Jack
these are
sells them.
sliced.
These
but
are
they're
not
basically deli pickles sliced. They're dill. They're awesome. Awesome. But pickles, I love
Interesting.
pickles. Love pickles. Oh. But Naz, here's a funny question. We can go on for days, but I want you to think about this. What makes I sound like my brother because this is my brother. This is Tommy speaking.
Oh,
What makes a pickle a pickle? Before you answer, just think
Uh-huh.
about this. A pickle is a pickled cucumber.
Yes.
We don't call it a pickled cucumber.
Here we go. I've heard
We
this
call
conversation
it
already.
a pickle.
Right.
So now,
So
when you
how
have pickled
come-
vegetables and
right.
pickled carrots, and
How come it's called a pickled
we don't
carrot?
call it right.
Right. I don't.
Why is
I don't know. How come it's not called a pickled cucumber? I don't know.
What makes a pickle a pickle? Now, I have to laugh. A couple of years ago, we're at a restaurant and we do this wine and cheese thing, and they come out. One of the appetizers was a plate of pickles. So, and it just said pickle plate. We assumed that it was going to be
Was it zest?
no. Oh, they had no. They had the radishes and the
Yeah. They
no.
got
It
a
wasn't
bunch of-
zest, but I loved that they had a pickle plate also.
Yeah.
But you know what? It wasn't zest, but they did the same thing. But so the first time, and there were there was like one cucumber on there, and it was all which I love. I love that stuff. But it was just funny. I'm like, wait a second, here's a pickle plate.
Right.
They are referring to
It's
everything as
only one
pickle,
pickle.
but we typically wouldn't do that.
Right.
Oh. Anyway, Memorial Day is Monday, so for those that have that do get to fly a flag, fly
Yes.
your flag. And another thing we take for granted, Memorial Day is a symbol to honor and remember, and these folks that go out and do that job. It takes special people to go and do it, and so to take a moment and remember
And remember them.
and reflect, I think is so important, and no different than celebrating your veterans on Veterans Day. It's certainly a solemn day, and it another reminder. Even when I see a vet in their hat, I always say thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Kevin brought up. Yeah.
Why do you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway?
So anyway, so yes, remember and reflect, of course, on Monday, and then while we take this weekend to celebrate, we
Don't
should
forget the meaning behind
The true meaning.
holiday.
why do we drive on a parkway and park in a driveway? Yeah, see the same thing. I don't know. I'm sure if you Googled this, somebody's got some ridiculous answer to these questions. And I'm glad we make you hungry. That's our job. And
Gennaro's delivers.
Gennaro's is delivering, and so they're going to order. I want to hear about this buffalo and barbecue pizza and blue cheese on that buffalo pizza. Pickles and peanut butter is a thing.
I will tell you. we're going way back now. When I was pregnant, I would eat a sandwich that had pickles and peanut butter and cheese.
Which kid was that with?
That was with Nazareth.
Was it mayo on there too?
No, there was no mayo. It was pickles and peanut butter and cheese. And I don't know why, but that just tasted. Well, look, first of all, it was full of salt, right? Between the cheese and the peanut butter and the pickles. So, and a little bit of sweetness with the peanut butter. So it was a salt and sweet taste.
Dennis, I don't necessarily know if that's true. They've been making deliveries all over Staten Island. Now, if Marco told you that, I'm sorry, but maybe you are a little too far. But they've been delivering all over the place. So, call Marco and see what he's got. If he could tag it on another delivery, you'd love to. Yeah, I know people that eat peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I love peanut butter, and I eat peanut butter bananas every day. Peanut butter and apples and carrots.
Well,
and stuff like that.
Right, I do the peanut butter and bananas all the time.
Pickles. Yeah, the cheese part is. I'll try it. I'll try anything. But
I don't know. I don't think so.
Hey, so Naz, the meme of the day.
Deficiency.
Might be.
I can't wait to see.
Today's meme of the day.
Yeah.
I mean,
cut down. Used to eat 3 slices of pizza. I mean, used to eat 6. Now I eat 3.
Yeah.
So I only eat half.
I'm on a diet.
Which I can't see.
Perfect. It's a perfect segue. Hey, we're talking about pizza. That's why I had perfect opportunity to share that.
Yeah.
Too. We've been sharing old photos. So the old photo of the day, 25th anniversary was this year, cut short. I mean, we're going to continue to celebrate. So we've been celebrating here by sharing some old photos. Naz, I got this gem. This is a Staten Island Advance gem.
Oh, that
I did not pre-approve this.
Gem. Thank you so
it's not that bad. It's not that bad fun.
much.
But this is Nazareth and my dad and Enos.
We just talked about her a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, more than a couple of weeks ago.
And Enos would raise money for the
She
MS?
gave me that book that I keep my junior league money book in. That I keep my track of my junior league funds in.
Yeah, and it's still going strong.
The Met book that she gave she probably gave it to me. Oh, it's a long time ago.
I know. So she used to raise money for the MS walk. She'd ask everybody for $1 or more, and we hang up those sneakers. She really was, and she's missed.
Yeah.
But they had season tickets in their family, and so that's why she would bring us the gifts all the time. Yes. But the book is, and there's a couple of other things that are in the office. That she's given us over time.
She was a sweet little lady.
Yes, Jacqueline, I did see your text. I will respond after. We are here live. I didn't read what you wrote, but I saw your name pop up. So hello, y'all. Hillary, butter and cream cheese. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. I mean, cream cheese and anything. Oh yeah. Cream cheese and peanut butter. Cream cheese and butter. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I've never tried that. Do I live in a food bubble? I don't know. I'm starting to feel like
toast it, the butter melts in.
Yeah.
And then
I try not to eat this stuff on a regular basis because I'd be much larger than I am. Yes. I mean, even when I talked about when I ordered French fries and chicken fingers the one day, Tina yelled at me and she said, "You don't eat that." I said, "On occasion, I'll eat it."
Yeah.
I ordered a peanut butter and cream cheese on a bagel a couple weeks ago, and she looked at me and she goes, "You don't eat this on a regular basis." I said, "I know, but I want it anyway. You were there, right?" When I ordered it. And I'm like, "Just I want it." And add jelly to that too. Oh.
She didn't know what to do. She didn't know if she should close it.
You don't close it. I want it all together. Smush it together. Cream cheese, peanut butter. Yeah.
Cream cheese is a delicious food.
And even sour cream. I used to not like sour cream.
I like sour cream too.
I could eat it with a spoon. And then the crazy part, when you make dips, it's so weird that mayo and sour cream actually become a thing when you make certain dips, and it's delicious. I mean, not just like that. You got to add everything else to it.
Right. I was gonna say, really, you make a dip out of sour cream and mayo?
That's a base for a lot of that.
Well, if you're adding other stuff for it, I can.
Yeah, it's everything else, but that's like a base, and it's like ew. Like you wouldn't think you're taking these two eggy and creamy things.
Yeah.
Hey, today we wanted to make sure we shout out. We were invited to a birthday drive-by today, but sadly we couldn't be there because we were
here.
We were here live on the air,
and you would have missed us.
And happy 21st birthday,
Joseph Nadal,
Super Coach Joseph Nadal. And we got a video of his drive, which I'm sure you guys heard beeping earlier. That's me trying to get the video on the
when Nazareth was on.
Yeah. So here's the. Going fast.
Yeah,
that was a fast drive-by.
Where people are just throwing things out the window at you.
That was shared by Regina, and so thank you, Regina. Happy birthday, Joseph. We certainly miss seeing you and your sisters and your family and your Super Coach on the lanes.
He was great. He is a great one.
He is
did
awesome.
Post that he did pick up his Chick-fil-A at the Staten Island Mall yesterday.
Did he pick? I was. Does he work there?
I saw him post something about
he was picking up food from there.
Yeah, well, I saw the same
if he was
thing, but it was
delivering
actually Chick-fil-A's post on how they're handling working. So I think he was. I don't know if he was actually a customer, like picking up, and they haven't taken his picture,
delivering.
or if he was working and they just staged a photo. I took that he works there. We have to find out because if Joe, if you're still watching,
let us
happy
know.
birthday, and if you work at Chick-fil-A, that's something that we need to know. I think we need to know these things. We need to know these things. A good question. Here's another one.
Why is there
Kevin,
a date on sour cream?
Why is there an expiration date on something that's already sour? Why is there an expiration date on sour cream?
Because it could still get moldy.
It gets like,
and then it gets like real liquidy on top when it gets.
It's already sour, so we just make it more sour. And Tommy just tuned in. I think if he's still watching, Tommy, we just had the pickle conversation. I asked Nazareth what makes a pickle a pickle. And I should probably bring Tommy. So poor, my brother. I picked him up. He called me early this morning. Hey, can you pick me up? I want to say some bad words. Idiots broke into his car outside of work last night, early this morning. Yeah, they took. I mean, the crazy part when people do that, they take the stupidest things.
Yeah,
they didn't take any change. They didn't take the iPhone cable that's like worth $25. They took two things that are broken, like DVD players that he had for the kids that weren't even working. Like he had just got his new car, put them in there, broke 3 windows. They didn't just break one and take things.
That's the worst part of it.
Yeah, he just got it. I mean, stupid. And then another guy they took some other things, but I was like, really?
The breaking of the windows is the worst.
Oh. So we got to see our friends. We always like to see our friends Paulie and Joe at Dependable Auto Body, 110 Rector Street. We got to see them and laugh with them a little bit. Yeah, but that's not usually the reason why I would like to see them. But that is always good for comic relief.
Yes.
Oh, so Kenny ran into our friends Anthony Pizzarusso and Mike Marchese at ShopRite. Isn't it amazing when you see people that you know out and about?
Yeah.
Especially that you haven't gotten to see on a regular. You would see them every Monday night on a regular basis. I saw Rosanna today outside of Starbucks. Her and Grace. So it was nice to see them.
You said that. We also saw John Pendola come in today.
Yeah.
From the Mistmates. It was good to see him.
It really is nice to see people.
It's nice to see people.
Especially when you're out. Yeah. Like I would see, it's funny, I would normally see Rosanna after her finishing her shift home goods as I'm pulling in the parking lot to go somewhere else. And we just kind of wave by and then we'll see her here. So I haven't seen her in forever.
It's been a long time.
And I'm seeing lots of people that need haircuts.
Well, hair, there's a lot happening. I don't color my hair. I rarely color my hair.
What you got there, Marco?
I got pizza going out, wings, and mozzarella sticks.
Pizza, wings, and mozzarella sticks going out. Anybody good? Anybody we know?
Terrace.
All right. Well, somebody on Marshall Avenue is getting a special delivery from Marco. Pizza, wings, and mozzarella sticks.
That sounds delicious. I may be taking home some food today.
See, food. We're talking food again. Hey, so an update. Rab's Got Talent, because it grew here on this show. Yep. We want you to submit your talent. We've extended the deadline through the end of the month. So visit bowlatrabs.com. /talent. The form is there, and there's a new link to submit your videos to us. Should be much easier. So if you already have, resubmit your video. So if you've submitted a video and through the form, you'll get an email. You don't need to resubmit the form, just the video, using very simple WeTransfer.com. You'll email it to us. We'll get it, and you could send any size, just about any size file. It won't be, it shouldn't be an issue sending it to us. So a new way of sending us videos. We had some challenges we didn't know until
we fixed them.
The day of the deadline. We found out that people were trying to send us videos before and then didn't tell us. So bowlatrabs.com /talent. We want to showcase your talents. We've gotten some great submissions already. And so go on there and resubmit your videos.
Yeah, come on. We know you have talent. We see it here every day.
Some talent we don't want to see. But yeah.
Some talents are better left at home, but
So resubmit your videos.
No, I'm not one to
WeTransfer.com.
judge. I'm not one to judge.
No,
Let
no.
the people judge.
The people are going to judge this one. The people are going to judge. So please submit your videos. We want to open up the voting and an award and showcase your talents and give you an award, that prize. We're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, you get an opportunity. You can still take a little piece of home, some pizza, some wings, Jello shots,
Some hard seltzer.
hard seltzers. I had the watermelon last night over ice.
That's what Naz is waiting for.
Delicious.
Yeah, she's going to be happy.
I'm actually, if ours is open over here, I'm going to stop there and get ice, and then we're going to eat. We're going to enjoy it over the ice.
Let me know how that is.
How bad? It can't be bad.
It can't be bad. Yeah, I agree.
It's like not a milkshake,
bougie
an ice, a bougie ice. Yeah.
Boozy.
Oh, I just said boozy. Bougie.
Boozy.
A boozy. Yeah, boozy. Boozy ice. I mean, we already do that with vodka, but I mean, this is already.
Yeah, exactly.
So Naz, it's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, Saturday. We've got the rest of the weekend is looking great here on Live from Rabs, and we're here every day until further notice.
UFN.
2 p.m. Pro Bowler Saturday is coming.
Shannon
We're
O'Keefe.
excited. We're always excited for Pro Bowler Saturday because you
Yep.
really never know.
No.
And we have a new booking agent. So you never know who's going to come on the show, but we've got a new booking agent that's been
He's
lining up
just
some
volunteered. He just kind of stepped right in there and
shoot up some talent.
giving our number out to people. So that's great. We're happy to have anybody come on the show. But apparently, we're in a little demand.
We're in demand. Isn't that awesome? We're in demand.
Not
Ratings,
bad.
bonanza, Naz.
Not bad for a couple of hats.
International. So continue to watch, like, share, tell your friends, your family, even people you don't like. You can tell us.
Tell them.
Tell them about us. We don't have to converse
Subscribe.
with
Don't forget.
them. Just comment. Subscribe. And Naz, we
kept it real.
Yeah.
We did. Absolutely.
Are you ready? What are you cooking for dinner tonight?
I'm not sure.
Me either.
I'm not sure what we're having tonight. We had steak last night. The little stir fry thing for Greta. She doesn't like steak. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have pizza tonight.
Pizza. Racist pizza.
We got the official
We got
vote.
pizza.
Racist
I don't know what
pizza.
we're having tonight, but we'll see. We'll report back tomorrow.
There you go.
All right. Well, Naz,
That was awesome.
we'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.